tonight.
We've been in a road system that obviously is getting worse every single year.
Southwestern Ontario leaders pitch high-performance rail to Detroit. Plus, the owner and tenant of Dundas Street homes say BRT construction is making their building unstable.
Biggest concern is that the house is going to fall over.
And
it's a question of how far do you press your taxpayers? We don't want to.
A local historical society steps in to rescue and renovate the Port Burwell lighthouse.
It is our CN Tower. It is our Statue of Liberty. It is our Eiffel Tower.
CTV News with Lauren Stallone.
Good evening. Thank you for joining us. Leaders from around the region are calling for major investments in high-performance rail across southwestern Ontario. As Brian Bicknell tells us, they're hoping to tap into the federal government's nation-building agenda.
When it comes to better passenger rail service, Canada is missing the boat, according to Woodstock Mayor Jerry Accioni.
If you look at our Asian partners, our European partners who have figured out the rail system and use it so well, where we've been in a road system that obviously is getting worse every single year, we have to make some kind of investments.
He's part of a group of civic leaders along with economic development, tourism, and college and university representatives between Toronto and Windsor. They're calling on the federal and provincial governments to invest in high-performance rail. Now, high-performance rail differs from high-speed rail in that instead of just focusing on faster trains, it aims to create a regional integrated network with more frequent service between cities.
We know that there are international companies that are looking to relocate to regions that have that kind of integrated mobility networks.
Tyler Sutton, London's manager of intergovernmental relations, says the timing is right.
We're pitching this as another nation-building project that will do significant things for us here in southwestern Ontario.
Sarnia's Mike Bradley is not part of the high-performance rail group. The longtime mayor has advocated for better via rail service for decades. He points out one major snag in the plan.
CN controls the tracks. And as long as they control the tracks, we have examples in Sarnia all the time. Passenger train service is delayed significantly, and it makes it unreliable for people to use. Until that changes, nothing substantial will happen as it relates to reliability.
The group is proposing extending the sidings along the corridor track.
That would allow more often CN trains to pull over and allow via passenger rail to move through.
There's also a call for restoration of passenger rail service between Windsor and Detroit. It would include a Canada-U.S. port of entry at Windsor, connecting to Detroit and Chicago, giving passengers access to the Amtrak network in the U.S. Brian Bicknell, CTV News.
A London family is worried construction of the bus rapid transit system is compromising the structure of their home. CTV's Daryl Newcomb reports.
This deck used to be completely flush here. There wasn't a big gap or anything. It's about an inch lower, so this is falling.
Sean Ann Morris Ryan is worried about the impact bus rapid transit construction is having on her uncle's home that she and her father rent.
When they put the new gas lines in, they tore out the side of the house. The emergency stairs started falling, and they're all tilted now and unsafe to use. And then this part, they basically went on a full stop.
From street level, you can see the amount of erosion. In fact, it's progressed beyond the snow fencing and yellow caution tape installed on the front lawn. It's the most visible erosion among the houses on the north side of Dundas Street east of Ashland, where retaining walls and most of the front lawns have been removed during construction of the East London Link. The corner of the wooden deck actually sits on an old cement pad, but this pad appears to be at least partially undermined. This is what it looks like from another angle.
Biggest concern is that the house is going to fall over and that me or my child or my dad upstairs are going to be in the house and not just lose everything that we own, but lose our lives.
It was almost 4 years ago when CTV News spoke to concerned neighbours about the road widening. How much property they may lose in this direction. At the time, several neighbours were concerned about the city's plan to take most of their front lawns through purchase or expropriation to accommodate the additional rapid transit lanes. Ward Councillor Susan Stevenson emphasises the importance of early and effective communication.
It's not just the inconvenience. There's a perceived safety concern that needs to be addressed to provide comfort or address the issue.
The City of London tells CTV News in a statement the project team regularly reviews site conditions throughout construction and will continue to monitor the area as work progresses. Once the necessary infrastructure improvements are complete, the property will be fully restored.
Everything is shifting. In my house, my door doesn't shut consistently anymore because things are a little bit off. We've got a really old house. We've got old floorboards. The nails are popping out of them.
According to the city, the purpose of the excavation is to permit underground utility improvements as well as install a new retaining wall. Daryl Newcomb, CTV News.
Turbulence ahead for WestJet. Flight attendants could walk off the job as early as Sunday if a deal is not reached. Beth McDonnell reports.
WestJet customers are nervous whether they're flying shortly before the deadline.
We changed our flight for today and we're going one way to Vancouver.
Or need to be back home later this month.
We're going to the Philippines. We're only there for 2 weeks. We have no news if that's going to affect our flight.
This afternoon, an update from the airline. The company says negotiations haven't resulted in an agreement, and it must begin the difficult process of parking Boeing 737 planes. This necessary step allows the airline to maintain operational control and protect the integrity of the broader network. Most importantly, this proactive measure minimizes the risk of stranding guests and aircraft. WestJet is allowing passengers between now and Tuesday to cancel their flights or make one-time changes to their bookings.
So if you're someone who needs to catch a cruise, whether it be in Florida or Europe or wherever, and you need to get there, I would probably book a fully refundable flight or find alternative methods just to get there. If you're a week out, yeah, you could probably sit and wait for a few more days.
The cabin crew's main sticking points are over wages and compensation for work when planes are not in the air.
You have to report at the airport an hour before the flight leaves. When you get on the plane, you have to do checks that are mandated by Transport Canada. So these are making sure that all of the safety equipment on the plane is working. Then you have boarding, and during boarding, we're briefing passengers. There's lots and lots of things. You're not paid for the time that you're sitting in between flights.
Air Canada flight attendants went on strike last year for the same reason, the dispute affecting 500,000 passengers. But not all hope is lost. Having a deadline when parties are far apart can allow for the right conditions for a deal, says this labor expert.
The way that it should work is that deadline creates that pressure cooker environment and creates the incentive to sort of knock your heads together and overcome your differences.
Passengers ready to board planes today are feeling relieved.
Yeah, it would be a nightmare if I got it after.
Happy to be on their way before flights could be canceled. Beth McDonnell, CTV News.
If you're heading out for the long weekend, expect to see more provincial police officers patrolling highways across the West region. The campaign will focus on speeding, impaired and distracted driving, seatbelt use, and enforcing the move over law. During last year's long weekend campaign, officers laid more than 1,400 charges, including 625 for speeding, 47 for impaired driving, and 19 for failing to move over for emergency vehicles.
Good evening, I'm Rita Ismail. We're tracking some severe weather in and around the region. We have some severe thunderstorm warnings issued by Environment Canada impacting Middlesex Centre, St. Mary's, Lucan, and along the 401 corridor. You can see some active weather bubbling up, some intense severe thunderstorms. It's all thanks to the heat and humidity that have started to build. And we have this low pressure system that's going to swing through tonight. And the next one, a big one, moving in just in time for your long weekend plans. I'll break down the next 24 to 48 hours coming up a little later. Lauren?
Thanks, Rita. Striking Community Living London workers were making some noise this morning as they took their job action to an East London Protesters lined the sidewalk outside the home of Community Living London Executive Director Michelle Palmer. Security was stationed outside the home and others were videotaping the picket. About 600 OPSU Local 166 are entering the 11th week on strike. The workers are looking for a 6.5% wage bump that was given to other Ontario workers affected by the Ford government's public salary wage freeze. That freeze was overturned by the courts, and many unions negotiated a wage compensation agreement. Employees across the province who support people with developmental disabilities haven't received any compensation. While the union leadership have been sympathetic to Palmer, they say she needs to do more to support the workers.
Locally, we cannot fix this because she does not have the money. And up until now, we have been targeting the government. But it's time for her to step up and join us fighting for the funder to come to the table.
Lambton OPP say one person has died following a single vehicle crash near Elvinston. It happened before 7:30 at the intersection of Courtright Line and Nauvoo Road. A 21-year-old Newbury resident was pronounced deceased at the scene. The investigation continues. No one was hurt after a fire broke out in a North London home this morning. Crews were called to Franklin Way Crescent in the Wonderland and Fanshawe Park Road area around 8 o'clock. The home was under construction at the time, and there's about $200,000 in damages. A proposed zoning change for a possible data center in Strathroy is now off the table. The applicant for 700 Adair Boulevard has withdrawn the controversial facility from a list of proposed uses. Hundreds of residents signed a petition asking council to vote no against the zoning amendment. A scheduled public participation meeting on the application will still take place Tuesday evening at City Hall. No decisions will be made at that time. Meanwhile, emergency crews rushed to a West London store after a vehicle drove into it this afternoon. Crews were called to this plaza on Springbank Drive around 1:40. Damage to the storefront was significant, with one person suffering minor injuries. The investigation continues. An effort to save the oldest wooden lighthouse on the Great Lakes is being transferred to the local historical society. CTV's Sean Irvin has more.
The Port Burwell Lighthouse has stood in this spot for almost 200 years. Once a life-saving beacon for Lake Erie shipping, it is now the heart of Bayham Township.
It is our CN Tower. It is our Statue of Liberty. It is our Eiffel Tower.
But unlike those structures, this one is teetering on the brink. In 2022, an engineering report set off alarms. The following year, the lighthouse was compared to the Leaning Tower of Pisa. The municipality was forced to act to keep it from toppling. But in the wake of over $1 million of debt acquired from the controversy surrounding the arrival of the HMCS Ojibwe, Bayham Council was hesitant to spend nearly $2 million to save the lighthouse.
It's a question of how far do you press your taxpayers? We don't want to.
Enter the Port Burwell Historical Society. Its members convince council they are in the best position to save the structure before it's too late. But the timelines to get the ball rolling for the restoration of the lighthouse are tight. Believe it or not, a lot of money has to be raised by August 5th. To meet a match for a federal grant, more than $100,000 is needed.
That grant can fund us for $1 million.
It is a lot of steps to climb to reach the top. And if there is a slip, the municipality has the first right of refusal to get the lighthouse back.
It's simply saying if you can't carry on and can't go forward, give it back to us.
But it's hoped that will not be necessary as light shines once again on and from the historic structure.
The goal is that this structure will be here for the community for years and years to come.
We can't forget our history, and we need to save it.
In Port Burwell, Sean Irvin, CTV News.
A London father is preparing to walk from London to Queen's Park in an effort to get a surgery that could dramatically improve and prolong his daughter's life. Jerry Dewan has more.
Joe Gasoldi will be walking 200 kilometers from London to Queen's Park, pushing his daughter's empty wheelchair to raise funds for Sydney's neurosurgery.
No father should have to go to this extreme measure to raise money to get surgery out of country.
Sydney was injured in July of 2023. Her vehicle was stopped at a red light here at Byron and Warncliffe when she was hit from behind. Then 24, she suffered a catastrophic neck injury, with her neck no longer being able to support her head. The damaged area continues to degenerate with growing impacts.
Lately, I've started having dysphagia symptoms, trouble swallowing. I'm choking more on food and pills when I take my medications, and having fine motor control issues, losing feeling in some of my limbs sometimes. So just very scary symptoms.
Sydney has had consultations with a New York neurosurgeon who is ready to do a procedure that would repair damaged vertebrae in her neck and protect her spinal cord. Joe and Kim Gasoldi say they were blindsided when OHIP refused funding for the $500,000 procedure.
We thought that was a no-brainer. We thought that once we figured out what was wrong, that we would automatically be okay.
The Gasoldi say they have met other families facing the same challenge.
It's bigger than us, and right now, we want to be the face of it, but we also want to bring awareness. So there's a lot of people that are suffering with this out there.
Sydney says she's thankful for the efforts of her family and others, but doesn't think it should be necessary.
I just feel very grateful to have parents that are willing to do this for me, but of course at the same time, I feel kind of mixed emotions because they shouldn't have to do this.
The 6-week Miles for a Miracle walk starts on Tuesday. The first leg of Joe Gasoldi's walk will start at his home in South Central London and bring him here to Victoria Park. The walk will finish with a news conference at Queen's Park, with Sydney taking part. They'll be calling on the provincial government to review OHIP policies and appealing for transparency when it comes to how decisions are made. Jerry DeWan, CTV News.
Coming up on CTV News, the private investment controversy that is threatening to destroy the World Cup. Plus, a traveler stung by the Air Canada strike has a warning for WestJet passengers.
Download the CTV News app and stay on top of local stories as they unfold.
We begin tonight with Ontario's
Customize your feed and watch live wherever you are. CTVLondon.ca, your home for news.
There is growing opposition to FIFA's controversial plan to sell stakes in the World Cup to private investors. CTV's Joy Malbon now on what could come next.
After the world celebrated the passion of football, FIFA is now in a fight over money and control. President Gianni Infantino's plan to sell World Cup profits to private investors is facing a major backlash. His closest advisor, Carlos Cordeiro, resigned in protest, calling it a bad deal for football. A second FIFA official, Chief Operating Officer Kevin Lamour, says staff were deceived and members never consulted. And Europe's governing soccer body, UEFA, declared the World Cup is not for sale. All 55 member nations voted unanimously to boycott FIFA competition until the plan is pulled.
Nobody wants to boycott any game of football, never mind a World Cup game. But we've been pushed into this by a proposal that was so damaging it could have dismantled the whole infrastructure of the game.
Also raising red flags, potential lead investor Joshua Kushner, younger brother of Jared, President Donald Trump's son-in-law and close advisor.
Did FIFA or Mr. Infantino speak to you about their proposal to sell a stake in the World Cup? No, I never spoke to him.
If Gianni pushes ahead, critics argue that commercializing the World Cup will tarnish the beautiful game.
This is another example of terrible governance within FIFA, but I think this time Infantino and FIFA have gone a step too far.
Facing a revolt and a deadline of September 19th, FIFA's president is offering members a payout of $20 million if they agree to bring private investors into World Cup business. Joy Malbon, CTV News, Washington.
Toronto City staff is reporting less than half of the premium tickets for FIFA Fan Festival sold during the World Cup. They say it generated $5 million in revenue for the city. While the majority of tickets were free, premium tickets were listed for between $100 and $300. They included faster entry and spaces at the festival grounds. Toronto says about 350,000 people attended. The report says staff remain confident the cost of hosting 6 World Cup matches will be within the city's budget of $380 million. A full financial report is expected early next year. Those affected by a potential disruption will be seeking compensation from WestJet if the airline is forced to cancel their flights. CTV's Camille Karamali now with one family's cautionary tale and what you need to hear.
If this sight of WestJet flight attendants threatening to strike looks familiar, that's because it probably reminds you of this. Air Canada flight attendants walking off the job last summer, grounding thousands of planes, leaving passengers who say they're still waiting for compensation from the airline nearly a year later.
It's frustrating and upsetting.
One of those is this Toronto couple who say they're out $1,500 after they canceled their Air Canada flight to Miami.
It was one of the situations where we got so angry we actually just had to laugh about how stupid this was.
The two were worried they would miss their cruise departing from Florida. Not wanting to take a chance, they dropped the Air Canada flight, instead booking a flight with a different carrier, flying out from Cleveland, paying extra for hotels and parking. They say Air Canada eventually ended up canceling their flight anyway on the day they were supposed to take off.
We had canceled our flights. And we explained to them, we canceled our flights because you're canceling flights the day of, and we needed to be able to get to our cruise. Even if we didn't cancel our flight, you canceled our flight.
But passenger rights advocates say that's the wrong call.
They are really at Air Canada's mercy. They have no rights whatsoever.
Arguing passengers' rights apply only when the airline cancels the flight, not when a passenger does.
Wait until your flight is canceled. Give them a chance to rebook you, and if they fail to do so or tell you we don't have any seats, then buy yourself a ticket on a different airline.
For now, a lesson learned for this couple who have this message for passengers who may be facing the same situation with WestJet's strike now looming.
Keep all their seats. Make sure you email them right away, the customer representative. If they say no, just keep emailing back.
Air Canada says it has given the couple credits for the canceled booking, which it says they've already used, but will not be reimbursing them for the extra expenses like hotel and parking costs. Kamal Karamali, CTV News, Toronto.
Rita is with me on the desk now. Rita, we've had some really beautiful weather. Can't complain, but we got a long weekend coming up.
You got it. And unfortunately, that beautiful weather coming to a bit of an end. Unfortunately, we have instability in the atmosphere. Right now, 28, feels about 36. We have a severe thunderstorm warning for parts of Middlesex Centre. As I mentioned before, Lucan and St. Mary's, some heavy downpours, but they are fizzling out as they push to the east. The wind out of the south this evening, 20 kilometers per hour. Our high today, 30 degrees. We sat well above where we're supposed to be this time of year. Overnight low 13. The record 35. Didn't quite reach that. That was back in 1999. Now, as we head into the evening, a mix of sun and cloud for us here in London. Our sunset at 8:47. As you can see, the temperatures are still on the warm side, anywhere between 26 to 29 down in Windsor. And factor in the humidity, it does feel like in the mid to high 30s, and that is why we had those thunderstorms triggered in those areas. That humidity really dominating the forecast this weekend as well. So much of the same for Saturday. You could see those thunderstorms bubbling up, and heading into the evening they will push out. It doesn't appear that those storms will impact us here in London. Those are thanks to that low pressure system sitting to the north. Now this will sweep through. That unstable air mass means there is a chance for some showers and thunderstorms, but the high pressure we loved so much is moving out, and in behind that system, another one. Now it has slowed down. It's become a bit stationary, so it's going to be sluggish, pushing over the Great Lakes region. Here's how that plays out. A lot of cloud cover overnight into Saturday morning. A bit of a break around noon tomorrow. We could see peaks of sunshine before that thunderstorm activity starts to develop throughout Midwestern Ontario around 5, and then that system starts to move in. It's very unorganized, and because it'll be warm and humid, we could see more thunderstorms bubbling up along the northern shores of Lake Erie Sunday morning. Overnight, through to Sunday afternoon and really intensifying as it pushes out late in the day, Sunday. So Sunday, in and out of rainfall, some embedded thunderstorms. But the good news is, in behind that, we will break into some sunshine for holiday Monday. Overnight tonight, remaining warm, 26 degrees this evening. Wind out of the south, 10 to 20 kilometers per hour. Cloudy conditions overnight. And then tomorrow, as we mentioned, we'll wake up to mainly cloudy conditions, some peaks of sunshine before noon. And then as that system edges closer, we will see the probability of showers starting to increase. The storm risk also increasing as we are expecting to hit a daytime high of 28 degrees for Saturday, feeling in the mid-30s with the humidity. Sunday is when that low pressure system, the cold front, moves through, and because again it's quite unstable in terms of our humidex value, we are anticipating the bulk of the rainfall and the severe thunderstorms to be overnight Saturday into Sunday morning. So in between midnight and about 6 a.m. Sunday, and then in and out of shower activity throughout the day into the afternoon. Clearing though nicely for Monday, as we mentioned, 26, and then warming up to 29 by Wednesday. Mainly sunny conditions Tuesday into Wednesday. The chance for showers returns Thursday into Friday next week. Midwestern Ontario, the first full weekend of August, and the long weekend will feature instability. Storm risk is there Saturday and intensifying on Sunday. 24 degrees Sunday as that cold front pushes through, and then climbing right back up for holiday Monday. 26 degrees, mainly sunny conditions on Tuesday, Wednesday. I wish I had a better forecast, Lauren, because this is, I believe, the third long weekend of the summer, and we're halfway through the summer. We don't really want rain on a weekend, but here's to fingers crossed most of that moisture pushes through overnight.
Thanks so much, Rita. We'll enjoy the sunshine while it lasts. Coming up on CTV News, as artificial intelligence is breaking boundaries set by programmers, we'll consider how much faith you should put in chatbots.
Saturdays at 9, Sundays at 4, we take a look at the biggest country songs here in Canada and the biggest stories.
Yeah, this one is about Riley Green and eggs. It's weird, but trust us, you're going to want to hear it on the countdown.
Join us this weekend.
Stats Canada says real gross domestic product rose 0.3% in May, beating expectations. The May GDP figures come off solid growth of 0.6% in April. The mining, quarry, oil, and gas extraction sector led growth for a second straight month. The increases represent a rebound from a slight contraction in the first quarter of the year. Ottawa has given the green light to the Crawford nickel project in northern Ontario. It's part of the Liberals' effort to fast-track major projects. In her statement, the Environment Minister says the potential environmental effects are justified when taking into account the benefits the project will provide. It's an open-pit nickel cobalt mine and on-site metal mill located about 40 kilometers north of Timmins. The project is expected to attract $5 billion in investment and could create 4,000 new jobs. Artificial intelligence developer Anthropic has admitted that its software has hacked into 3 companies during product testing. Anthropic says it discovered the security breach during a review of its testing process. Anthropic has reached out to affected companies, but the incidents raise concerns about the vulnerabilities and unpredictability of AI models. People are increasingly turning to AI chatbots to research medical information. The information provided is easy to understand, but experts say it may only partially be correct, and you are giving up your confidential medical information. CTV's Pat Foran has more.
Need health advice? AI chatbots such as ChatGPT, Microsoft Copilot, and Google Gemini promise detailed answers in seconds. One survey found 17% of adults ask AI chatbots health questions at least once a month.
There are a lot of reasons you might go to a chatbot for answers.
The chatbots can answer health questions and sound convincing.
They can be quite good at generating a lot of information, and they're very comprehensive and easy to understand.
But experts say these chatbots aren't always reliable. They can make up facts or mix up important details while confidently presenting their answers as correct information.
Fabrications can be hard to detect. It's really hard to know when there are inaccuracies, and these systems do get things wrong. We know that to be true.
People tend to overtrust AI-generated medical advice, a recent study found. Many respondents couldn't tell the difference between an AI-generated answer and one from a real doctor. And there are privacy concerns, too.
AI systems are not bound by the same privacy laws that your doctor's office is.
So whatever information you tell a chatbot could be used, sold, or even stolen in a data breach. The best advice, use AI as a starting point for information, not for diagnosis or treatment. Keep your sensitive personal health information private, and always verify what you learn using trusted sources or a recognized medical organization. And of course,
if you do have questions that are going to affect how you act on your own health, talk to your doctor.
Pat Foran, CTV News.
Canadian and American markets moved in opposite directions to end the week. In Toronto, the TSX lost 280, and in New York, the Dow gained 277, while the Nasdaq added 252. The Canadian dollar dropped 0.08 of a cent today, and on commodity markets, gold fell almost $54 an ounce, and oil gained $1.08 a barrel. And later on CTV News, how an Ottawa hospital made a cancer patient's heavy metal dreams come true.
It's Jeff, KP, and Backstage Ben in the morning.
Three awesome people that want to start your day or finish your overnight shift.
You'll laugh, you'll text, you'll call, you'll scratch your head, and maybe even beat Backstage Ben. Weekday mornings from 5:30 to 10.
Listen live on the iHeartRadio app or at 97.5 Virgin Radio.
We're premiering a new episode of Leading London with Carlisle Fazette this week. This time, he's in conversation with the executive director and CEO of Museum London. Here's a clip from that conversation.
A challenge across the board right now in all industries is just the rising cost of everything.
Yeah.
And you've mentioned diversifying. It sounds like the revenue streams for the museum has been an important part. So how would you describe the current financial sustainability of the operation right now if you're looking at the cost of things, infrastructure, aging, all those sorts of aspects for a big facility like Museum London?
I think one of the nonprofits are flexible, and creativity is kind of like baked in. And so another factor at Museum London is many, many years of good stewardship on the part of management and the board and dedicated philanthropists. So Museum London is in a pretty stable financial position, and we have a lot of really positive momentum. Of course, we're looking to evolve and grow all the time. And so we are making moves to rekindle or for the first time create partnerships with new kinds of sponsors, new kinds of program offerings to continue to diversify our model.
How much of that is a pitch and how much of that is interest coming to you saying we want to work with you?
I think it's like an equal measure.
Okay.
And it's really important to us to find partners where we have alignment in terms of our values, in terms of what we're trying to accomplish. So that's been interesting. I mean, there are a lot of people and a lot of corporations who are interested in supporting education initiatives right now, who are interested in supporting creativity and critical thinking and some of the things that I've been talking about that are impacts of our programs.
For the full interview, you can head to our website, ctvnewslondon.ca, and click on Leading London. Hate crime investigators are looking into an incident in Winnipeg that left a mosque with thousands of dollars worth of damage.
We are and have been always faithful, peaceful contributors to our community, our neighbors, and our city. Our neighbors have demonstrated the same last night.
This happened at the Rama Islamic Center on Wednesday night. You can see multiple smashed windows and bullet holes in the walls and windows. The center says people were inside at the time and shots were fired from a vehicle before people got out and attacked the building with weapons. It was also reported that a vehicle drove by with people shouting racial slurs. No one was injured and no suspects have been identified. As rising grocery prices continue to put pressure on household budgets, a Kitchener man has turned the frustration into an earworm. CTV's Alexandra Hollick has the details.
But every time I visit my local grocery store, every week the prices are up a little more.
It's a feeling many shoppers know all too well. Sticker shock at the grocery store, part of the routine, as food prices continue to climb.
I felt like, something needed to be done, so I wrote a song all about food inflation.
I almost started crying when I saw the price of meat.
Kevin Westfall is a Kitchener musician, known for his comedic, tongue-in-cheek tunes tackling real issues.
There's so many people right now that need help, and I couldn't be silent. I had to write a song to try and help the people and just shed some light on what's going on.
There's something funny going on at the grocery store.
The food inflation blues comes from a conversation Westfall had with a store manager who blamed soaring costs on climate change, tariffs, and wage increases. And while the musician says that could be true, he's also noticed retailers raking in profits.
They're making so much money at the grocery store, and they just keep getting richer while the rest of us go poor.
It's a great way to deliver a message.
Danny Bailey directed the music video. He hopes the song strikes a chord for all Canadians.
We want everyone in the country to feel the pain with us. They're already feeling the pain. We're going to add a little comedic value to bring the thought and the story to the top.
And the price of the fruits and vegetables, it knocked me off of my feet.
The video has been seen more than 26,000 times online. Proof its message isn't falling on deaf ears.
By using comedy and satire, he's actually getting the message further than if he was just going to do a straight-ahead song. When you use humor, it kind of brings people together rather than divide them.
For Westfall, making music has never been about division, but rather inspiring change one tune at a time.
There's something funny going on here at the grocery store.
Alexandra Hollick, CTV News, Kitchener.
Tonight's weather snapshot, a beautiful sunset in Grand Bend. This photo sent to us from our viewer Mike Brown. Thanks so much for sharing, Mike. As we head into the weekend, cloud cover will increase. Saturday morning, we could see some scattered rainfall Saturday, but the probability increases Sunday with the passage of a cold front. And because the humidity will start to build this weekend, we could be dealing with some thunderstorm activity as well.
Spain has deployed military to Ceuta after tens of thousands of people breached Morocco's border. You can see a large group of people running across roads toward a border crossing complex in Morocco. The crowd is believed to have been attempting a mass rush toward the border area. Officials estimate about 49,000 migrants have crossed in the last 24 hours. 18 people are dead after trying to enter the Spanish enclave. The region is the EU's only land border with Africa. The death toll has risen after the 7.1 magnitude earthquake that struck Japan earlier this week. Authorities now say at least 34 people were killed Tuesday when the quake destroyed buildings, highways, and flattened homes in southwestern Japan. This mall was destroyed by an explosion linked to the quake. More than 79,000 homes are without water and over 2,700 without electricity. Thousands are staying in shelters as temperatures soar. Gay and bisexual men in this country will soon be allowed to donate to sperm banks. Health Canada has confirmed it will eliminate restrictions. CTV's Rachel Aiello has more.
Only after this gay man launched a constitutional challenge is Health Canada eliminating barriers that prevented gay and bisexual men from donating to this country's much-in-need sperm banks.
I'm very happy that things turns out this way.
Before coming out, Aziz donated to a Toronto sperm bank, helping a lesbian couple grow their family. But after learning federal policy deemed him unsuitable just because of his sexual orientation, he decided to fight back.
Why I started doing this is really the discrimination.
For decades, Canada banned all gay and bisexual men from ever donating to sperm banks. The rules changed in 2020, allowing it if they'd been abstinent for 3 months. Aziz took the government to court in 2023, and a year later, Health Canada pivoted to behavior-based screening. But his legal team argued that change just replaced an explicit ban with an implicit one, and so they fought on. And just as they were feeling confident in the case they'd be presenting at a pending hearing, the Federal Health Agency declared it was updating its donor testing requirements again.
This change represents an important and precedent-setting step.
Alongside new advanced infectious disease testing, as of this fall, Health Canada is eliminating those questions that precluded gay and bisexual men from donating if they'd had more than one or a new sexual partner in the last 3 months.
Quarantine period and then the subsequent testing is absolutely sufficient for the safety of that sperm to be used in donation.
Affidavits filed by experts in the case confirmed the donor procedures already in place are more than enough to protect against risk, including the transmission of HIV.
This policy change makes me very happy because we want to see policy align with science.
LGBTQ2S+ advocates say they're relieved and a little frustrated that it took this long for the government to right a wrong that was based on outdated data and beliefs.
I'm also really filled with so much gratitude towards Aziz for tirelessly fighting this issue.
CTV News requested an interview with Federal Health Minister Marjorie Michel, but she was not available. In a statement, her office said the government, quote, supports changes that make sperm donation safer and more inclusive, while supporting continued public confidence in the donation process. Rachel Aiello, CTV News, Ottawa.
A wallet lost a long time ago has made it back into the hands of the owner's family.
We think somebody may have taken it and tucked it into the wall or in the floorboards. I think she'd be very excited that it was finally found after 50 plus years.
High school librarian Catherine Regan lost it in 1972, and it was recently found during renovations at a school. Inside it were a number of photos of her 3 children. The 3, now quite grown up, say it's meaningful to see their pictures in the wallet, knowing their mom always kept them close.
London's top stories.
We have breaking news tonight out of Ottawa. The latest in the
breaking news alerts.
I'm tracking an area of severe weather. It'll start.
And watch live.
A developing story now from City Hall where.
Download the CTV News app.
In 1960, the end of July came with brow-mopping temperatures and a new problem at London's public swimming pools. So many kids had the same idea at the same time that for health and safety reasons, swimming was put on a shift basis. At McMahon, the maximum capacity was set at 400 swimmers, but as many as 1,200 kids showed up. So those at the end of the line had to wait through 2 groups to get into the water. By then, they really appreciated it.
Finally tonight, a cancer patient in Ottawa recently had his heavy metal dreams come true. He was unable to make it out to the show, so his hospital brought a band to him. CTV's Peter Sperling has the story.
It's music you typically wouldn't hear in a hospital. But when 27-year-old Bruyere health patient Tim Barry asked to experience a heavy metal concert, Bruyère's health chaplain stepped in.
It's not unusual for us to think outside the box, but heavy metal was never on my playbook when I started here.
Tim, medically unable to go to a concert, so the concert came to him.
It was a beautiful thing.
Ottawa's Dominion Tavern putting everything together needed for the show, and for free.
We found a band, I found a lighting and sound technician, and I had all the equipment just right here waiting to go.
The lights, the sound, all the gear adding to a top performance.
Of course, a heavy metal band can get loud, so to be respectful of Tim's neighbors, the concert was held here in a hospital boardroom.
If you're going to do a heavy metal show, you got to give them the full 100%. You can't, dial it back. You got to take it to 11.
Canadian power metal band The Scepter going all out.
Instantly, I was honored, warmed my heart that they thought of us, and I told the guys right away, and everyone was immediately on board.
Everyone putting together the full experience, even a custom-made ticket.
We painted his nails black. He had his heavy metal T-shirt on. They rocked out for him.
An emotional moment and show for many in the room.
Yeah, a little bit. We were happy to have our sunglasses on.
I had nurses coming up to me after and hugging me and tearing up and saying, I'm so glad Tim got to have this.
And a memorable and unique experience for everyone involved.
Tim was really blissed out by it, yeah.
Peter Sperling, CTV News.
That's our time tonight. For your latest local updates, you can always head to our website. Our next newscast is tonight at 11. I'll see you then. Thanks for watching.